By the time of recording this video, I am pretty sure this is the only browser most customizable on this planet. So let's deep dive into the setting of it. So let's first of all open up the Vivaldi browser. Not to mention I have given you the link. You can download it from link in the description. Now you can see here I have this home page which I set by default by using some external extension which is established. If you want to know that, the video link for that will be in the description or right here. So first of all, let's just open some sort of the web on it. You can see here we have this nice picture, how what's the size of it and how many content it's loaded. Let's just again load some again. You can see here we have this size and then we have these elements on this page. If you are kind of want to like that detail, now let's just talk about some of the settings which we want to customize it. You can just click on the setting here and then we can just customize the way we want to be. First of all, you can see here on the general tab, you can play around with that if you like to like set as a default browser or something like that. Now home page, of course, you can customize it. It's pretty straightforward. You can just the way you want to be. Now we have this as a specify page and all of these menu at the start of the browser. You can play around with it. By default, I would like to keep it as it is. Now in this case, you can see here the legend new tabs. This is if you would like to enable it by default when you are launching the pin tab. If you want, you can just enable that as well. Like in this case, we have this always. Now in this case, I have used here the startup page as a new tab since I'm using that external extension which will be that looking kind of nice. Again, you can just watch that video if you like to watch that. Now make sure you check that notify update if you are making it, just to make sure up to date for more security. So yeah, check that. Let's just click on appearance. Now appearance, we have a lot of setting if you like to use here. In this case, you can share the open setting and a tab and stuff like that. Now this is we talk about this here is when you click on open setting, this showing that if you like to go directly to the setting from the tab menu. Likewise, if I click on the tab, you can share the customize and you can simply right away and click on this. Of course, this is sometime you want that, but this is just to make you more thoroughly detailed. Now you can see here if I click on the show status bar, you can see here all of the detail about the page where it's connected to external server and the send break and the tab likes. Like you can see if I click on this, it will show in that status bar and show bar how many bookmark and stuff like I have been using it. And apart from that, if you don't want that type of detail, you can also click on this info URL, which will only showing you that URL and the things that its website is doing. You can even disable it if you don't want that, like showing that it's connecting to URL and stuff. Like when you're just opening up the sites, you can see it's not showing. But you can just by default, like other Chromium browser tend to use her, and you can see our HTTPS and stuff like, which might come in handy if you'd like to use it. So yeah, you can play around with that. This is very great of you Vivaldi if you want to customize it on that as well. Apart from that, as the new use native windows, some of the setting I don't know about either because this is kind of a bit of confusing. So let's just adjust here the interface. You can see here you can even increase the size of the interface if you would like to. For example, not the website, of course, the web page that you are using, it will only increase the size of the UI of the browser. Now you can see if I open up the any page, it won't increase that size, only the UI of the browser, which is great. Kind of for the high resolution monitor, we tend to make it without going to scale the windows, which is great. So let's just keep it for now, reset, but you can just play around with that. Now show background, because since I'm using here the external extensions, I don't need to. Apart from that, you can see the Vivaldi button for setting, or you can icon at the left top corner. You can see her top right corner that you can customize it if you would like to. There's a lot of setting, of course, but it's make you kind of confused when you're playing. Now themes are pretty straightforward. You can see here there comes out the default. You can even customize that themes which is given to you. If you click on this edit themes, and you can see all of the codes that it's given to hexadecimal, you can change it. But you can save it. Of course, I have saved all of them. by accidentally. So yeah, let's just delete that. Now this looks kind of cute if you on the web, fantastic looking. Apart from that, you can even increase the contrast of the web page if you want to play around with the slider of the color that you tend to see on the browser. So yeah, you can see here in the private windows you can even customize the theme of the browser by private windows, which is great because sometimes it's showing some sort of bluish type of color in private windows. But again, you can play around with that. You don't have to play around this. I just keep it by default disabled because I don't need that chroma interrogation. So let's just click on start page here. There is nothing too much here, so let's just skip this. You can see here you can even change the position of the tabs that you have opened to the right bottom, and you can see here just simply tap on it, then you can just customize the way you want to be, which is very great of Vivaldi. I mean, this is only possible in the Vivaldi browser, all of these important setting that you tend to see. Even you can see here the new tab position after active tabs, and all of that step makes sense if you like to play around with this. Now, yeah, the after related tab means that if you are opening the new tab and again in that side like sub tabs, and you can just adjust the way you want to be. Now you can see the show pop-up thumbnail if you like to, like hovering over this it will showing the thumbnail, but I don't need this, so I will just uncheck this, and you can see it's not showing that thumbnail, but you can just play around with it if you would like to. Apart from that, there's a lot of setting you can play around with that. Now it is kind of lot like compact and the stack two level, which is now this is the tabs because sometimes when you open up a lot of tabs on your browser, it will just kind of clutter the entire bar of the browser. But with these two compact and these setting, you can just manage the way it should be. Likewise in Firefox, it you can just scroll over the tabs that you have opened. But inside this, you can just make it if you want. You can just it will squeeze the title into the top bar, like making it compact over and over just to occupy all of the tab. But if you want, you can just check this as well, two level, so it will organize it properly on this bar of the browser, which is great. In this case I'm using 3, so you can't see any difference. But if you are opening a lot of tabs, you can play around with this, which one best suits to you, like two level and compact if you would like to play around. Now mute auto tab, you can see here by opening up, sometimes you're just opening a lot of videos and they're kind of giving you mixing noise sound. Can play around with that if you want to change that. Now, if you click on the panel here, you have this kind of customizable panel. If you click on this show panel toggle, and then you can just customize the way you want to be. Now, some of the setting you here, it's kind of a bit of confusing, but you can just play around with it if you'd like to use it. Just play around with this. I'm just going with overview of this and just play around with this. Now you can clearly see here the address bar. You can even customize the address bars if you like. Likewise at the bottom, if you want the address bars where you're typing websites and URL stuff, like you can just push it to the bottom. Apart from that, you can see here that you can just disable that profile button even, which is great. Now this is pretty important when you are typing something into the field. It even showing that bookmarks. It's kind of clutter the entire screen while typing. I keep it as an include history only when typing, so not to even slow my performance as well in browser. So yeah, I just keep it as it is. Now in commands, I think there is nothing too much to apply, but if you would like to apply with the in bookmarks menu, you can just play around with that as well. Now this is important. Likewise, when we are managing here the bookmarks on the screen, we tend to only keep it the icon because sometimes you can, most of the time you can recognize the website by through the favicon icon. Now if you click on the bookmark and text only, it will only showing the bookmark and text only of the folder, which makes sense, right? Even though if you edit furthermore. So let's just go to quick command. I think there's nothing too much to play around with that, but if you want, you can just play around with that as well. Apart from that, the keyboard, you can even customize the keyboard shortcut if you want for specific functions, which is great, right? I mean, that's the fantastic customization you would want in your browser. So yeah, you can just play around with that as well. Now let me just click on the mouse. Here is kind of important thing like allow gestures using these things. So we're gonna just have to play around with it. First of all, let's just allow the gesture there. And now you can see here when you click on the new tab function, it will showing you. Then you can just drag this. Now by the way, it will only work with the mouse right click button. For the new background tab, you can just drag this by holding the right click of your mouse. Let me show you. If I just drag it here, right click and then straight, you can see it will create a new tab, which is great. And you can even close it by just dragging the L on your browser page. And it's working most of the time, but it's kind of, if you have a bit of tablet man, then it should work perfectly. But you can just see here, it's just very straightforward. You can play around with the allow gesture as well if you would like to use it. I'm not that big fan of it, but yeah, you probably want to use it. So you can just hover over any of it and then you can just allow the function if you'd like to use it. So yeah, I'm just trying to create a new tab with it and I want to close it. And so I think that's it. Let's just click on the search now. Now by default the browser itself come here with a Bing, so you can just change it to the Google by double tapping on it and then it will change that search engine to Google. And that setting by default I keep it as it is, but if you want you can just play around with that as well, like hiding the button of that mini search bar at the top right corner. So I think that's pretty much it for this. Apart from that, in protection and privacy you can play around with that with this, but I think by default browser use it a great security, so we don't need that. Now I do a lot of downloading images and stock images for work, so I just keep it that to update my thumbnail. I can play around with the synchronization if you like because it's encrypted all about data the way you want to be. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Now there is a lot of things, of course. Some of the setting kind of make you baffling, but yeah. So in the display all you can see all of the settings by through it. Now I want to show you one important thing here, which is the progress bar. You can see here the when you are loading the page here, you will only see that it's showing that loading symbol in the address bar. You can customize it likewise to the favicon progress. If you tap on this, it will just showing that progress bar in the favicon progress. And I mean that is great. You can even customize it by that own customization that it's tend to show it. Likewise you can see here that customization, but I want to keep it as it is, but you can just play around with that as well, and it is a great feature by the way. Some people prefer to customize that one as well. So yeah, apart from that, even it makes sense that it is a very great browser and very fast efficient as well. So yeah, just give it a shot and try. So I think that's it for this video. I hope you enjoy this video and learn some of the setting tips and tricks from this browser. You can again download it from link in the description if you'd like to use it. So yeah, I think there is nothing much further to show you. But anyway, if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And also if you like my overall content, you can click on that, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell notification for more further videos. Till then, take care and I will see you in the next episode.